Now is Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. Mr. Secretary, thank you so much for being with us. Great to see you tonight.
Thanks for having me on.
So, midterms, less than a week away. As you know, the Republicans' message seems to be crime is bad, inflation is high. And those are, I think, simple for voters to get their heads around. President Biden's closing message is basically that democracy is in peril, which is powerful, but less tangible. Do you think that that's the most effective message for President Biden?
Well, look, we're walking and chewing gum at the same time in this administration. And, from a policy perspective, we've got to, and we want to talk about the economy as well as our democracy. It is incredibly important to defend our democracy because democracy is what makes America America. If we lose it, we're just another country. But it's also important to do the right thing for our economy, especially with inflation and prices as high as they are.
Well, I hear you, but in terms of messaging, I think that President Biden, by our count, mentioned the economy and inflation once last night, but mentioned democracy and democracy being in peril and possibly losing it many, many times. So just in terms of messaging, should he be saying more of what you just said?
Well, we're doing both. The president decided to give a speech about democracy, which is a very important topic. And most of the time when you see him speak, you'll be seeing him talk a lot about the economy because that's an important topic. I mean, the idea that you have to pick one when, we're at a moment where the American people strongly believe in the things that we're doing. I don't think it makes any sense to say we have to do one to the exclusion of the others. We are passionate about an economic policy that is focused on cutting costs for everyday families. We're also passionate about democracy, which shouldn't be a partisan issue. It shouldn't require being a Democrat or a Republican to say if you're running in an election that you ought to be prepared to abide by the results of the election. Just like there should be nothing partisan about universal, swift condemnation and nothing else when it comes to an assassination attempt on a member of a family of a political figure in this country, no matter what party they come from.
But given everything that you just laid out, all of the accomplishments of the Biden administration that he can be proud of and you all can be proud of, from infrastructure to the Inflation Reduction Act, why aren't Democrats polling better?
Well, look, I think we're a country that's facing a lot of headwinds. And, I don't get up in the morning and study what the polls are. We get up in the morning and go out there to solve problems for the American people. But what we have found in terms of public satisfaction and public expectations is that the American people agree with us and disagree with Republicans when it comes to the congressional Republican agenda to go after Social Security and Medicare. Americans agree with us that allowing Medicare to negotiate prescription drug prices was the right thing to do. They disagree with congressional Republicans who voted with Big Pharma. On social issues, the American people agree with us that the Roe versus Wade was the right framework, or at least the best framework that we had, and disagree with the effort, the increasingly successful effort by congressional Republicans and their appointees to take away a woman's right to choose. On issue after issue, this administration, in our actions, in our policies, is better aligned with the American people than anything we're seeing put forward by the other side. And I do think it is important for us to be leaning in on the issues that a lot of our critics raise, whether it's inflation, immigration, or safety, because if you take one moment to cut through the rhetoric, it turns out they're not really putting forward any solutions or ideas.
Okay, let's talk Thanksgiving travel. So in this just released data, airline passenger complaints were up 320% in just the month of August. That's compared to pre-pandemic levels. So what's the problem and what's being done to fix that?
That's right. We had terrible cancellations and delays across the system over the summer, which led to our offices receiving record numbers of complaints from travelers who had been stuck, stranded, canceled, or delays. By the way, several times this summer, that included me. Sometimes the day after having an engagement with the airline leaders on how they were dealing with this issue, the next morning we'd get up and find my own flight delayed or canceled. The good news is we have seen a dramatic drop in cancellations and delays since the summer. I think a lot of that is because of steps that we have been urging airlines to take, like more realistic scheduling and continuing to push on hiring and staffing. We're better off than we were this summer. I am concerned as we head into Thanksgiving travel that we're not completely out of the woods, and really need to keep pushing to ensure that we have an aviation system that can handle all of this demand. I would add, our department has created a dashboard because we found that transparency is one of the things that seems to have a very powerful effect on the airline's behavior and their choices. So you can go and see side-by-side comparisons of how the different airlines will respond, how they will treat you if you do have an issue. Will they get you a voucher for a hotel or meal? Will they offer to put you on another airline in order to get you on your way? You can go to our website to see what they will do, and if they don't follow the rules, especially on things like refunds, you can also go to our website to file a complaint, and we will have your back.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, thanks so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.